Patrick was just like any other boy. He'd love to play video games, watch TV, and hang out. But there was one thing he absolutely hated. Homework. Homework is boring, he'd groan, tossing his school books aside. Every day, his teachers scolded him for not completing his work, and his grades kept falling. Patrick didn't care. "Who needs homework when I can have fun instead?" he'd say. One day, something extraordinary happened. Patrick was playing in his backyard when he saw his cat playing with what looked like a tiny doll. But as he got closer, he realized it wasn't a doll at all. It was a tiny man, dressed in strange, old-fashioned clothes. The little man shouted, "Help! Save me from this monstrous beast!" Patrick quickly chased the cat away and picked up the tiny figure. "Who are you?" he asked, astonished. "I'm an elf," the tiny man replied. "You've saved my life, and for that, I'll grant you a wish. Anything you want." Patrick's eyes lit up. He knew exactly what to ask for. "Do my homework until the end of the school year," he demanded. The elf frowned. "Homework? What's that?" "It's all this boring stuff my teachers make me do," Patrick explained, handing him a stack of books. "Math, English, history, you'll figure it out." The elf had no choice but to agree. "Fine," he said, "but you must help me understand. I know magic, not human knowledge." And so it began. That night, Patrick handed the elf his math homework. "Just do these problems," he said, thinking he was finally free. But the elf stared at the page, confused. "What are these numbers? What's multiplication?" Patrick groaned. "You don't know math? Ugh, I'll explain it to you." He sat beside the elf, teaching him step by step. It took hours, but the homework got done. The next day, it was English homework. "What's a verb? What's a noun?" the elf asked. Patrick sighed. "Okay, let me show you." Day after day, it was the same story. The elf needed help with everything. Science experiments, history timelines, even spelling words. Patrick stayed up late every night, reading, writing, and solving problems. He thought he was just helping the elf, but without realizing it, he was learning too. Weeks passed, and Patrick noticed something strange. His teachers stopped scolding him. Instead, they praised him for his completed homework, and even called his answers brilliant. Patrick's classmates began asking for his help. By the time the school year ended, Patrick had become one of the smartest kids in his class. But then, one evening, the elf stood on the table, looking proud. "My work here is done," he declared. "You're on your own now." Patrick was shocked. "But you can't leave!" The elf laughed. "Oh, Patrick, you didn't need me at all. You've been doing the work yourself this whole time." Before Patrick could protest, the elf disappeared in a puff of smoke. Patrick stared at the empty table, realizing the elf was right. He had done the work. From that day on, Patrick never complained about homework again. He had learned an important lesson. Hard work pays off, and sometimes the help we think we need is already within us.